Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another Out Live. Oh, it's all right. We'll go with that. Hopefully, I don't look so red now. Can everybody hear me okay? I hope. I don't have, I'm still not having a microphone. All right. Good. At least maybe we got that going. Like it's going to be a quiet Tuesday, Fireball Tech. I know, I know, I know. Your loyalty is much appreciated. So we're not doing a whole lot of terrain stuff today. Maybe everybody knew that. Maybe everybody had foreshadowing, knew that I was not doing terrain today. It has just been a last week has busy, 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 and we have redone the studio again, make it a little more easier to use, and for a couple upcoming projects game wise. So everything didn't get put back together. Kind of hard to. I was just going to kind of do an abbreviated show tonight, um, and talk terrain, talk cav. Thing anybody's got any questions for shows up. Sound does sound real good. I'm not dropping or cutting out or anything. You are dropping when you get quiet. You mean like at the end of my sentence you're not hearing, or just you're not hearing anything if I'm not talking? When I talk quiet. Okay. So probably need to increase the gain maybe. Uh, maybe I can bring it a little closer. It get moved around a little bit. Let's pull that up just a little bit. Okay, let's try that. See, is that a little better now? I don't think I can get it much closer without having it right in the middle of my face. Okay, well, it's showing that the sound looks like it's coming in better. So I guess today will just become a sound check day. Looks like it's going to be a quiet evening, Tuesday, Terrain Tuesday this week. You could play those video games. Well, I'm going to play a video. Guess I could play solitaire. Watch me play solitaire on here. That would be boring. Don't you think? Hey, look, CAVBoss is playing solitaire. Woohoo! We may end up needing to change the time on this. Start throwing down money. Yeah, maybe that we're just starting it too early on Tuesday, since it seems like our Wednesday show does a lot better. Oh, I think Wednesday night it's like 20 something, 25 people, and like 40 people come through, but at any one time it's about 20. Of course, it's like bloody lemming there showing up. It's not showing up on my screen here there that he's even in the room. Strange. Look here on the feed showing. Yeah, when you're watching it on the browser, you get a bigger delay. Well, I try not to use the browser too much because it uses more bandwidth and having bandwidth problems. See now you're showing up on my room. I'm not even using their app. I'm just going to the Twitch page on the browser. Just been a very unexciteful week. So since Sunday, I've just been dragging since Sunday. I think it's because of all the stuff that's been going on, all the stuff, getting all the stuff caught up and done. Evening, good evening, Gimli. We're not having any in hand terrain stuff tonight. We're just kind of talking terrain, CAV, anything else that comes kind of an abbreviated night. Um, we redid the studio and a bunch of other projects, and stuff was just not ready to go for. I was hoping it was going to be dried so I could go do more, but it just didn't work out. Oh, well, that's a no brainer. Boards are always nicer, but they are a pain in the butt to take anyway. That's the reason I've switched to mats. So they're okay. The city mats I think are better out of the bunch, but I always like a nice terrain board rather than so. But it's just they're just too hard to carry around because I don't like real modular boards. I like everything to be like on 2 foot squares because I don't like all the two 4x4s I can live with, but anything else, pain in the butt to store, a pain in the butt to travel with. It is. I mean, there's so many mat companies out there now, and so many people. And I mean, there's some really great mats that are out there. And for a lot of times, they look fine, you know. And I try to build everything up on them, and put as much stuff on there as possible, and try to make everything match up to it. And the worst part is, I can live with. If I had to make a big board for a convention or something, which I have. Um, I don't mind transporting it. I'll get it there, whatever. But it's trying to store the thing. It never works. I ended up I throw them away every time just because I'm tired of moving. And if you get uh, too crazy with it, and really make it hard to move things around, as far as if you build big mountains, things like that on it, you'll get bored of it too. It can look the greatest thing, but you can only play the same thing. That was the problem with that Mars board back. I love playing on it, but with that big land bridge out in the middle and everything, that it really, you had to play with it every game, so they just got boring. One thing I am playing with this week is, and it just kind of came to me. Then I started looking around, and apparently every other people have thought of this, but um, Minwax does a water-based stain. You can have it mixed to. I think I looked at the chart. I mean, I bet there must be 100 different colors on it. Of course, they're going to really lean towards blacks and browns and some reds, and I think there's some grays and stuff, yellows. Um, but to use them for washes, I think that I'm playing right now. I got some the other day, and I'm kind of working on where to thin them down a little bit, because I think they're too strong straight out of the can. But especially for doing terrain stuff where you have to do a lot of washes, big things on there, I think that's going to be the way to go. Because I mean, most of the guys that I mean, you can buy store-bought washes, but you really don't have to. You can make real good wash material out of, what is it, Johnson floor polish or something like that. I forget which one that we. Well, that's one of the things I was going to show tonight, but I didn't have it ready. I didn't get everything worked out, and the couple of pieces that I played with didn't get dried. It does take longer for it to dry than maybe a traditional wash, but I think that'll be pretty cool. I think especially being able to get them into some unique colors, and that you don't normally see, and then just the cost. Even if you compare it to, a quart of Minwax costs you $11. I think what an 8-ounce bottle of Army Painter wash is like $8, something like that. So which works out to about $32 a quart. So big price difference there. And with it being, I think, a little thicker and being water based, you can water it down and make it go even further. So really looking forward to it. My intention tonight was I was trying to finish up the hill pieces that I've been building for the dragon thing, and go along with that. I had to make some changes on the colors that I used originally, that I showed a couple of weeks ago, because I was not getting the contrast that I wanted on it. So I'm kind of going a different direction with those. They weren't ready to go. And then also I'm starting to paint on the Tyrell, the big corporation headquarters that I've been building. I didn't get all the primer done on it and got it ready where I work on it tonight. So, and there just wasn't anything else ready, being in good enough shape to go with it. So like I said, I just thought I'd do a little shorter show tonight, make sure people know that we're still here and be ready for to hit it next week. Fireball Tech suggested I play video games. Not going to make you. Well, I'm kind of going for kind of a reddish, maroonish color. I mean, it's easy to do grays. I'm kind of torn between that or a kind of a green. I've been having problems with my audio. Maybe I was leaning back too much again. Is that better? We've been moving everything around in the studio, and we don't have everything back up in just the right place. No, I don't want any white on it. To me, like I said, kind of I want it to be dark colored. So like I said, it's probably going to be either a maroon or a green, kind of a green and black, something like that. I want something kind of sci-fi looking, but I don't want to have just the standard gray. But I want it to be, and by having it that way, I can show some weathering and stuff on it. Where water's kind of run down on stuff over time. So, and then I'll once that's all done, then I'm going to show how to put in windows and how to light it up. And that's part of it too. I'm either probably going to backlight it with either yellow or blue lights. So, they'll both be light colored, but I want them to not look too weird with whatever the final color is. I think green with or the maroon with a light yellow light would be kind of cool. Maybe put one in there, and then maybe put a white one in there that's flickers a little bit too, just to get a little different look in it. I have, yeah. I mean, it's nothing to it. It's just a matter of you just run them from your light out to where you want them, and then you're just pushing the light through the optic cable. They're real good for putting, and I actually thought about putting a couple in this, um, especially if you have lots of fiber optics at this scale gets kind of weird. I mean, you can do some, little runway lights or something like that, but fiber optics work out a lot better. Like, if you're doing like a Star Trek model or something like that, and you got a big Enterprise and you want all those little windows to be lit up. Fiber optics are good for that. Fiber optics are good for changing colors out if you want to have, something that goes from green to white to blue to red or something like that. They're easy. They're not hard to work with, and they're really not that expensive. The worst thing that's happened as far as doing these kind of things is the fact that Radio Shack shut down. Radio Shack used to be absolutely the best thing in the world for putting together lights for kids. You could get everything that you needed, the diodes, the fiber optic cables, the batteries, you could build the circuit boards and everything. So I miss not having Radio Shack around. I know the one that we had here locally, they fought till the bitter end to try to keep it. After Sprint bought them out, they all went to their phone thing and it all just dried up. I can remember being a kid. Radio Shack was owned by Tandy, did the Trash 80 computers and everything like that. Um, you could go in there and all the different kits and everything that they had was just so cool. All the cool stuff is gone. I can remember going to Benjamin Franklin dime stores, 5 and dime stores, and they would have trays of plastic army men, tanks, planes, trucks, all kinds of different stuff. You could go in. That's how I really got started. We'd go in there, and for $1, you could get you an entire U.S. or Japanese army or something like that. And of course, they're all taller figures, plastic army men. But we came up with our own rules to play with them and stuff like that, and it was cool. Lots of fun. Lots of BB gun and firecracker tanks got blown up. Oh, those. So anyway, you have a subject or something you'd like me to talk about for a little bit or whatever, I'll be glad to. It can be terrain, it can be CAV. As long as it's not politics or religion, I'll probably give you my opinion on it. If not, then we'll cut her short here in a little bit and everybody can go about their business. I won't uh, subject you to 2 hours of me tonight. Those that include the Malvernus. I don't know what that means. Well, possibly. It depends. I guess uh, fake politics and religion to talk about. Of course, you could throw the Templars and everybody into the politics side of it. As far as the new models, we're still working on about a 60-day schedule. So the earliest that we will have anything would be late December, early January still. I mean, that's the timeline that we're working on right now. As we get closer to having a more solid date as to when we're ready to produce, we'll start doing some release schedules and some previews so than that. So. That's why you have to buy the rule book. I don't know that I can get that in depth to it. I don't know that my brain is working that. And we're still fleshing that out. There's still things that we want to. I know. Well, but it's not done like that on purpose because as we go along, we want to adjust things and do things toward what we're trying to accomplish in the universe. So I didn't want to put a lot of it and lock us into things as we went along and saw what people liked or didn't like. So um, I think that whenever the flashpoint, when we get to flashpoints that include the Malvernans, I think that'll a lot of that stuff. Like I said, right now the flashpoint that we're finishing up are with the Terran and the Rock, and a little bit of Templar. The next one is going to be more Adenese and Ritter with some Amethyl and Templar thrown in. So probably the third flashpoint catch some Malvern in there. Probably I'd say Malvernon and Ritter more so, and then maybe two, because the Malvernans have some problems along their northern border with the Rock too. So we're just still working on it. We're still moving along and stuff like that. But like I said, we've delayed everything till next year. There's just no reason to put anything out with. We're not able to go to any shows. We're not able to support it to do anything. Going out to stores. So anything that we throw out right now is just going to be lost. And that's what you're seeing that really across the board. I mean, you've got some of the bigger companies that are throwing stuff out there just because they've got stuff to throw out now and they've got more stuff next year to throw out. So they'll just get it out there and get what they want. But, we're just not in that position to do that. We want to make sure that when something big like that comes out, that we're ready to push it and promote it and really build on it. Well, it's not a matter of vision. It's how it's going to work. Is you'll start out with a squad. You'll get in the system and allow you can be mercenary. You can be house unit. You can be pirates. You can corporate security. I mean, you can start out anything that you want to be, and then the campaign system will move you through a series of adventures and modules and stuff like that you'll actually play and do. And at the end of those, you'll receive points that you can use to grow. And you just kind of have to take it in with the way the system's set up. So like, if you're a mercenary unit, you're going to be getting bigger. If you're a faction based unit, you'll get higher in rank and have more things that you command. So, pirates, same way, you're going to kind of grow as you go along. So there'll be lots of things that go in there. The new faction system will be in there, and there'll actually be some faction doctrines for everybody, including mercenaries and stuff. But as you grow, you get points. The new faction doctrines are going to be set up in trees. And I think, if I remember right, there's 5 different trees in each faction at 3 levels. And as you grow, you get points that you can mix and match through the tree as you grow. But you can't go down to the 3rd level without buying the 1st and the 2nd one first. So, and then that'll carry over into a normal, just a pickup game or whatever, is you'll actually, if you're playing with faction doctrines, you'll receive a set number of points that you can apply to your doctrine. That's what you'll play with during the game. It works both ways. I think it's going to be pretty cool. I'm hoping that we're going to have a version out to do some beta testing here pretty soon. We're just kind of working out some of the details on it. The nuts and bolts of it are already set. Now it's how we want to flesh it out and go from there. One thing too that we're kind of looking at is some solitaire play in there as well. I would love to have a chapter in there. Just with what we've seen with everything going on this year, I think that would be great for people to have the ability to, when they're stuck at home, or have an ability to play some solitaire missions that are set up to do that. I kind of look at we'll probably use a variation off of the initiative deck in order to do that. Well, cooperative play, that's the campaign system is going to be set up that way. You're going to have some role playing aspect to it as well. You're going to have somebody that acts as the game master. If you got multiple people playing it, that have the ability to, and the game master will be able to play as well. You'll just have to have somebody has to make decisions that may come up with the game, and especially if you want to have more of a, it's a lot funner to be assigned a mission than go through the book and pick your mission out. Trying to keep the record keeping down to a minimum. I mean, we're not going to be we're not going to be measuring all the nuts and bolts of everything. So. But we will be back tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Central Time. Me and James. We will have other things to talk about. I do have some stuff prepared for that show tomorrow. So, but I will be back on the horse next Tuesday, or with the terrain. There are stuff that can affect units and repair and things like that. Not necessarily model states, but there'll be things that happen as a result of, as far as, if you're a mercenary and you lose, you may not have all the stuff to repair everything. If faction unit and you've lost, then the enemy has disrupted your supplies. So there's things like that. Yeah, that stuff. So, well, listen, guys, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. We got 45 minutes in, and we can just drag this out all night long. But hopefully, we will see you tomorrow night, and then if not, Chris will be back Saturday sculpting. That's a conversation that you and me can have later. All right. Thanks, Gimli, for stopping by. I'll catch you all.